What's going on, people? It's your man the YB, back once again. So, I can't lie, people. I thought it was a bit of cap from Eddie Hearn. I didn't see how it would be possible, but I've seen some comments, and never mind the comments. Essentially, Turkey Prince Salman bin Mohammed Sheikh has come out and more or less confirmed these rumours. The rumours are, like Eddie Hearn said, we're waiting. Team AJ are waiting for the conclusion of Usyk and Fury to see the winner. To then, hopefully, if it's Fury, which I believe it will be, I think Turkey's backing Fury, we know that. I've got videos coming soon to expose that, but that's been known. Turkey backs Fury over Usyk. The odds are 50-50 now, but more or less, the punters think Fury going to win. It don't mean nothing when the bell goes, but realistically here, Fury's supposed to win. Turkey wants Fury to win, which means that Turkey going to have them Saudi judges. You best believe it, 100%. No doubt. If it's close, it goes to Fury. That's what we know for a fact. I'd have thought. Turkey wants Fury to win. AJ and that team, that side of the team, want Fury to win. So Eddie Hearn's telling us we're waiting to see if Fury wins. Or I guess you could argue, this post here says we are waiting for the result of Usyk and Fury, but I haven't heard Sheikh Prince Hamid Turkey bin Salman Turkey say anything about AJ and Usyk, or, do you know what I mean? I haven't heard that one. In fact, I've heard less about the Fury and Usyk rematch. It keeps being people telling me, or Turkey himself telling you, a picture of AJ and saying we're waiting for the result of Usyk Fury. Right, listen. I assume the rematch clause is probably a year, that's standard. So why would he, unless Turkey's saying, we're waiting for a year in May, is he talking about the result of the rematch? He's not implying it. He didn't put, we are waiting for the result of the rematch of Fury and Usyk. So adding all the circumstantial evidence in, the fact Eddie Hearn's telling us, we're waiting until the first fight, and then maybe we'll get some step aside for Fury, to fight Fury instead of Usyk. It's leaning like it's going that way. I couldn't see how. Legally speaking, Fury himself said, as we all know, Usyk has a rematch clause. So he's not thinking nothing about AJ until that rematch clause is done. But then I started thinking to myself, how much does a Saudi rematch clause, how much weight does it carry? This isn't, I'm not saying the West is some great place, but realistically here, yeah? Let's say, for example, Fury beats Usyk, and then, as you see the picture here, and then Turkey comes in, Eddie Hearn comes in, and Fury's on board with, and we know Fury loves dipping out of fights. You know what I'm saying? Fury whooped Wilder the second time, or whooped Wilder in the second fight, and then we're trying to skirt out of that and do something else. So it's not like Fury's someone who says, yeah, you know what, Usyk's got a contract and I'm going to oblige it. And you best believe it, however much money Turkey's put up for this Fury and Usyk fight, is going to be some sort of factor bigger, whether it's an extra 50% or double, who knows. So Fury's going to be directly incentivized to skirt off Usyk and fight AJ. Bottom line. But moving back to the legal logistics of it, because initially my base case was, there's no way, Eddie Hearn's wrong, Turkey's wrong, it doesn't matter what the result is because Usyk's got his rematch clause. Then I started thinking, practically speaking, what does a rematch clause mean? It's a piece of paper. It's a piece of Saudi Arabian paper at that point. What's Usyk going to do? Yeah? What's Usyk going to do? He can't go to no court and do nothing. Who here thinks Usyk going to go to a Saudi court and sue this Turkey guy? He wind up missing somewhere. You see that one there? He ain't going to do that. And not to mention, thinking about Usyk's longevity in the game, does Usyk really want to piss off Turkey? Probably not. Don't get me wrong, I believe Usyk's a real fighting man, and as such, apart from the body shots, he's a real solid fighting man, and he'll want the rematch. But is he going to really try and go to the Saudi courts and whatever else and try and piss off Turkey and try and get in the mix in Saudi? This isn't United States in that sense, where Fury had a contract with Wilder and it's more above board. This is, listen, the West is as corrupt, but it's more blatant. These man ain't businessing like that. That piece of paper is worth nothing. That piece of paper is only worth as much as the man who wants it to be reality. Don't get me wrong. If Turkey has a piece of paper, you best believe you're doing that in Saudi. right? You best believe it. You're going to stand on what he's written in that contract. But the other way, it don't work so well. Like I said, who here thinks Usyk's going to be posted in a Saudi court trying to sue Turkey for something? I don't see it. You see what I mean? What's he going to do? Hey, Usyk, sit down somewhere, take this bread, take this 20 million and be quiet. What does Usyk do at that point? Does he start kicking up a fuss? Possibly. I mean, thinking about that now, the whole Saudi kind of involvement in sport is to do with almost reputation laundering. So it would be a bad look on the Saudi regime if Usyk was to have a Saudi piece of contract paper and then have to sue them and say, listen, I came to this place, I signed a contract, and now the guy's trying to kind of shirk me. But again, do you really want to be doing that? Because you can, even if you win in court, I'd love to see how that plays out for you. I'm pretty sure, I don't know how it works over there, but I'm pretty sure anything them man do, and I'm not sure if he's a prince, but let's assume he's a prince. Anything them princes do, they kind of, what do they call it? Where you have immunity almost. You can't do nothing wrong. You are God in that sense. We are God's children, the pure bread, pure line. We are the princes. Yeah? No other man can judge us. We are the gods. That's how it works in them places. There's no rules for them. So a court case you may have against a civilian is not a court case against a prince/god. Yeah? It don't mean nothing. The judge, what's the judge going to do? The judge going to end up clipped somewhere, right? If he tries to stand up for justice, he clipped. Not to mention he himself. If you're working in a dictatorial, if you 100%, if you're working for a dictator, yeah, you're indoctrinated into that system. You believe in it. You believe in his saviour, Bin Salman, Turki. Yeah? He's our Lord and Saviour. So he ain't going to go against the king. Do you know what I'm saying? For Usyk anyway. Damn sure of that. But like I said, the political implications, it looks bad. At the end of the day, people, what is he implying here? We are waiting for the result of Usyk and Fury. And it also makes sense. I couldn't understand it. Why is Eddie Hearn saying we're waiting for the result of Fury and Usyk? I thought it was almost naive, but obviously, again, which makes sense, Eddie Hearn's had conversations with Turkey. And there's been talk of. I mean, Eddie Hearn is a bit of a bullshitter, but I believe Eddie Hearn sat down with Turkey and they've said, yeah, listen, the first fight will happen and then we'll try and slip AJ in there. So it's adding up now, where these bars are coming from. There is talk of Usyk not getting his rematch. Bottom line. That's the very bottom line. And the talk is not coming from the comment section. It's coming from the very top. We are waiting for the result of Fury and Usyk to slide this man in. I'm not against it. Although, as a pure boxing casual as such, Usyk should get his rematch. I've always believed in that. For top level fights, yeah, I believe. Some people say, oh, I hate rematch clauses. I don't. I hate rematch clauses in random ass fights. Like dudes who lose to a bum, that's on you. Yeah? But at the top level, I don't see why not. I want to see Beterbiev versus Bivol twice, right? I want to see if the loser can find a way to come back in these pinnacle great fights. I want to see if the loser of Fury and Usyk can come back. I wanted to see when AJ lost to Usyk the first time, if he could come back. It shouldn't be right someone can nick a belt and then run off and then fight bums. It's not like these guys, yeah, without having a rematch clause, would have gone on to fight loads of good people. For example, when Fury fought Wilder the second time and whooped his ass, Fury was trying to get out of the rematch clause, but he wasn't doing that to do something better. He wanted to get out of the rematch clause and fight bums. Because guess what? Since that time, since the second fight, the only good name he's fought has been Wilder. Oops. Yeah? So Fury wasn't trying to skirt the third fight to fight all these dangerous people, because guess what? Since the second Wilder fight, he's fought Wilder again, Chisora, Ngannou. I guess he did fight Dillian White, but, I guess he fought Dillian White, but he wasn't trying to, all due respect, as much as people may not rate Wilder, he's better than Dillian White, as we know now for sure. So, why was Fury trying to skirt Wilder? Or why was Fury trying to skirt Wilder's legally obligated rematch clause? For what? Oh, to fight bums. That's what is the evidence. So I am a fan of top-level rematch clauses. It ensures we at least get another good fight. Not have an individual nicking belts and then fighting bums forevermore. Which is what a lot of them would like to do. Sorry, not a lot of them. A lot of the dudes, Carrot Top, Canelo. Canelo beat a lot of B-level champions, and then all he's done since is get his cherry popped by Bivol, and he's fought bums ever since, essentially, right? bums and small dudes, apart from the dudes who are too small, Terence Crawford. He on that ass. Yeah? He don't want none of that. Oh, Benavidez in my weight division, too big, but too small. But Jamal Charlo was okay to fight. But Amir Khan at 140 was okay to fight. Corny. Yeah? That's what these guys want to avoid mandatories like Carrot Top or duck out of rematch clauses. In this occasion, though, outside of the pure sense of the fact of me wanting to see, let's say Usyk loses, I do want to see if he can come back. I do want to see if he can build his IQ and find a strategy to come back and beat Fury. Outside of that purist position, would I prefer AJ versus Fury in Q4 24 instead of Usyk versus Fury 2? I wouldn't. Why? I want to see AJ build. That's the truth. I believe AJ's in the third coming of his career. Like I said the other day, he had his kind of bruiser phase at the start of his career. He then had his totally restraint and intellectual phase as such, and now it's looking like he's bringing the two together. However, we've only seen the manifestation of that and the inaction or the action of that in the last two fights, which were against skeptical opponents. He's yet to fight a contender in this third innings. So if AJ sits around now, which is his plan, and then was to fight Fury in December 24, for example, do I think he's at his peak? I don't think so. I want to. I think for his own progression, for his own career, I want to see him beat a Hrgovic Dubois winner. Beat a Dillian Whyte in there, a filler fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Beat a Zhang versus Wilder winner. Or at least one or two or three of them. Or beat a Joe Parker who's looking on form right now. He's already beat Wilder and already beat Zhang. So of them 4 fight opportunities, Dillian Whyte or Joyce, I'll put on the same thing. The Wilder and Zhang winner. Hrgovic and, what's his name? Hrgovic and Dubois winner. And Joe Parker. Of them 4 possibilities, if he can do 2 or 3 of them, and then he's ready for a Fury, then we can sit there and say, man, this guy ready now. Anyone who watches Ngannou and Wallin, AJ fanboys may say he's ready now. He could be ready now, but there's no evidence of it. There's evidence of him beating up a Wallin who's no good, and knocking Spark out a mixed martial arts fighter, essentially. That's the reality. Hrgovic versus Dubois winner is a world championship level fighter. Yeah? Boxer. Not so much Dillian Whyte. The Dillian Whyte thing is more of a filler, but Joe Parker has already beat Zhang and already beat Wilder. That fight, I mean, if AJ can go in there and spark out Joe Parker, which Joe Joyce has already done, so it's possible now, great. If AJ can spark out a Dubois versus Hrgovic winner, great. If he can, what was the other one I said? It was Joyce, Hrgovic and Zhang Parker. I'm not even sure what the other one was now. Or a Wilder and Zhang. A Wilder and Zhang winner. If he can get some of them over the next year and then fight a Fury potentially, I think it does a lot more for the fight itself. Because as it stands, yeah, AJ looks sharp, but he looks sharp against what? We haven't seen him hit back yet. Hrgovic will hit him back. Dubois will hit him back for a few rounds, right? Wilder and Zhang, maybe not Wilder. Wilder's fallen off, right? But if Wilder came storming back and sparked Zhang out, then you'd assume Wilder will hit AJ back. Zhang will. Zhang's got no gas tank yet, but we know he hits. He popped Hrgovic's cherry for him. Yeah? He knocked Joe Joyce Spark out. He put Parker down twice, so he ain't got no gas tank, but he gonna tap the ass. He gonna make sure you're, 100%. He gonna make sure you're not on your John Fury versus the Black Skellington, Henry in one day. He gonna make sure you're not on your John Fury versus Ross Gerber. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make sure the infrastructure of your chops is certified for a unified championship contendership. That's what you're gonna do. Joe Parker beat Wilder on points, beat Zhang on points. He's solid. If you can knock a Parker out, no, this guy's proper on it. No one can tell me today AJ proper on it. We have not seen him hit back. Joe Parker's looking red hot. He's coming storming forward. He hasn't got the power necessarily, he never really has, but he's putting it on people. He's looking sharp. If AJ can go in there and do something he hadn't done before, which is stop Joe Parker and put him down, great. At this point in time, it's too soon, in my opinion. For AJ to fight Fury in his next fight, for example, bear in mind as well, the situation we're talking about here is AJ fighting a Fury who has just beat Usyk, right? So that only adds to Fury's credibility. This isn't AJ fighting a washed-up Fury who was like Ngannou. If Fury is good enough to beat Usyk, then you're essentially fighting the best Fury ever. Who here thinks, on the evidence we've seen, you may think it. Who here has witnessed evidence that the AJ we've seen in the last 2 fights against bums is enough to say AJ is going to go on to mollywop the best Fury we've ever seen? I wouldn't have thought so. In fact, there's no evidence. If you're honest with yourself, there's no evidence. You're guessing, you're hoping. However, an AJ who's knocked out Parker, or knocked out a Zhang, or knocked out a Wilder, or knocked out a few of these, or knocked out a Hrgovic, then you can say, hey, listen, man, he ain't playing no more. He with it. Right? So I'd rather wait for that. And at the same time, we maintain the righteousness of Usyk getting his rematch clause, which I believe he's entitled to, as a 3-belt champion. You know, you don't beat a 3-belt champion, even if Fury knocked him out in the first round. We've seen it before. Lennox Lewis twice, for example. These things can happen. Doesn't necessarily Fury can knock Usyk out in the first round. Doesn't necessarily mean Fury's the better fighter. Again, as we saw with Lennox. So he's entitled to a rematch. Bottom line, and if it's a close fight, then still he's entitled to a rematch. So there's no skirting around that. It doesn't benefit anyone. It really don't. It doesn't benefit AJ, as I've explained. And also in terms of the clout and the size of the fight. Yeah, AJ's name's buzzing more than it was after he fell off again, or in the last few years since his fall off against Ruiz. But beating a wall in Ngannou, it's not going to add the pizzazz. Look at Joe Parker, for example. Joe Parker was down bad. He beats Wilder, he beats Zhang, and now his name's buzzing again. Right? You need them kind of W's. It certainly doesn't hurt. If AJ knocks out a Hrgovic, or knocks out a Wilder, or knocks out whoever you want, and these top guys who are milling about right now, that's only going to add to the prestige of this fight. Wow, we've got Fury who's beat Usyk twice, and we've got AJ who's not just knocked out A, B, C, D of the top ones. Yeah? That's a lot bigger and a lot more entertaining than, okay, we've got an AJ who's beating Ngannou. We've got the Fury side of things is solid. If Fury beats Usyk, then it's solid anyway, but from Fury's point of view. But from AJ's point of view, it's missing the confirmation for me now. I want to see AJ go in there. Wallin didn't come to win, and he's not good enough like that. He's not a world championship level guy. He's not. He didn't come to win, and he's not a world championship level guy. Ngannou came to win. He's not a world championship level boxer. Hrgovic, Zhang, Parker, these are all world championship level guys who are coming, especially Parker now. Yeah, Parker in the first fight, he ain't come to win. He was, yeah, but now Parker with it. He coming to win. That's so important, particularly in heavyweight boxing. Are you coming to win, or are you coming to politic and say and celebrate the fact you survived 12 rounds? But yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell. 100%, no doubt about this one.